Right, David, we'll move back up to Scotland then. And well, this article's from 2015, Aleister Crowley's Inverness mansion destroyed by fire. This is from December 2015. I believe it's happened again.
It has. So just to take you quickly through this, Boleskine House, which was formerly owned by the most evil man in the world, Aleister Crowley, self-proclaimed most evil man in the world, was burned mostly to the ground. Most of it was gutted in 2015. This next slide here is again from the Scotsman, who report one-time home of Black Witch Aleister Crowley, self-confessed most evil man in Britain, has been virtually destroyed by a fire which ripped through the 18th century Loch Ness side mansion. And you see there a picture of it before the fire. Now, it was then announced more recently that it was going to be refurbished, but it wasn't just archaeological or architectural interest people were taking. No, it was followers of Aleister Crowley. So here we see the Scotsman again reporting. This is just from the start of July this year. Meanwhile, it is understood that Boleskine Foundation has been in discussion with Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO, a religious organisation previously led by Crowley, about giving access to its followers. Crowley developed the religion of Thelema with many Thelemites who believe in individualism and the power of free will, considering Boleskine House to be a holy place. The summary of this belief system is, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. It was extreme libertine, and it didn't accept any limits on human action, despite the harm that may be caused. Now, so just before we go to the more recent events, this is again an older report from 2015, again from Alison Campsie, the Scotsman. Jimmy Page, who was a guitarist in Led Zeppelin, also owned this house. Jimmy Page and his Black Magic Highland home. And it's talking about Crowley here. Of his experiments in the Highlands, Crowley, who styled himself as the Laird of Boleskine and Abertarf, wrote, quote, "The demons and evil forces had congregated around me so thickly that they were shutting off the light. It was a comforting situation. There could be no doubt of the efficiency of the operation." So that's what was going on historically at Boleskine House. And the followers of this man were all set to recreate the building. But it's not gone entirely according to plan. So this is again Alison Campsie, same journalist, again reporting in the Scotsman. New owners took over the property last month with a pledge to restore the property that was badly damaged by fire in 2015. The Boleskine House Foundation planned to open up as part of the property to the public, as well as to create a wellness style retreat where followers of Crowley's teachings could gather. Police Scotland believe that the fire was started deliberately and are appealing for witnesses. So about 1/3 of the building hadn't been gutted by fire. It is now. This next photographs from the BBC, again reporting the recent fire, and you see the smoking remains on the right hand side of the photograph here, and the older gutted part of the property which was damaged in 2015. And again, the BBC report Police Scotland as saying that their initial assessment was the fire was started deliberately. Now, this has been of some concern to the local community. This is a Facebook post from someone who lives in the area. He said, "I'm really shocked. How many people are members of OTO and are colluding in this? What hurts me is that people will donate to this in good faith, believing it is a heritage project, but actually it is a mission to create a demonic temple. I have a few connections locally and will ensure everyone knows the truth." So a mission to create a demonic temple, I think that's an absolutely accurate statement. Now, looking briefly here at the organisation that's doing the refurbishment, or was planning to, the Boleskine House Foundation. So their founders and trustees, Kyra Reddy with 2 Ds. She owns part of the plot, and she's got legal training and is looking after legal matters.
Well, can I just
Sorry, David, can I just read that?
So,
It says a London-based lawyer with more than 15 years of experience with trust and charities law. She's also experienced in the legalities pertaining to the management of landed estates.
yes. Now, her husband is also a trustee. He's very interesting. Right? Keith Reddy. He's had a successful career in several fields: property management, property development, logistics, hospitality. He's also an accomplished academic specializing in history and comparative religion. What religion, I wonder? He brings to the foundation more than 15 years experience in hotel management, in addition to other related disciplines that will aid the project substantially. Now, he wrote the book, One Truth and One Spirit, Aleister Crowley's Spiritual Legacy. So this is a man who has spent, at the very least, a considerable time studying the Satanism of Aleister Crowley. And he also, and he's quite shy about this, was contributing to a fundraiser for the OTO in America. So he's actively and financially supporting the Satanist movement, the Thelemic Church, as well as writing about Crowley. So this is not a disinterested man. This is someone who's involved. Next person here, Mark Lidster. He's spent 3 decades working on historical buildings in the United Kingdom. He's worked on repairs for the Tower of London, Salisbury Cathedral, and many other privately owned and public accessible protected structures. He founded Corbel Conservation, which became a highly successful multi-award winning conservation company. He's worked on projects such as Heathacombe Gardens, Halswell House, and Plymouth Catholic Cathedral. He now works as Senior Conservation Planning Officer in Sedgemoor. I wonder if he's founded this successful company, why he's doing that. But anyway, that's another one of the group. We've then got William Clifford Banks. He's Australian, and he is he's founded a number of financial technology companies, money. And most interestingly of all, Marcin Bartnicki. Now, this is a Polish name, Marcin Bartnicki. I probably pronounced it badly. And he works for an international law firm in their Warsaw office. And he's talking here as part of his legal practice in international law firm. Marcin has provided advice to a number of charitable foundations and organizations. He brings to the foundation 20 years of experience in corporate contract and trust and charities law. He's also got a keen interest in the history of religion, ethnography and anthropology. Now, he wrote the book. Well, it's the same name. I'm assuming it's the same man. It's not the only person with that name in Poland, but I think it's the same man. So he wrote this book, or this paper, on the internet forum as a forum for institutionalizing religious communities, the institutionalization of Satanism in Poland. The author considers this forum the most important space of social interaction for Polish Satanists, as well as an institution around which new social groups gathering both Satanists and people interested in Satanism is created. Thanks to the internet, the members of this group can share their opinions whilst remaining to a large extent anonymous. At the same time, the forum is a space where direct meetings with group's members are initiated. Moreover, the forum could form the basis for the emergence of a new organisation. And lastly, we have one of the team, Andrew Curley. Andrew graduated in law in 1989 and spent his life working in intelligence in a number of specialist roles. That sounds a bit creepy, but there we go. After retiring in 2014, he's dedicated much of his time to pursuing his interest in intellectual and spiritual pursuits. He wants to collect the books for the Boleskine Library. So he wants to collect books on Thelema, Crowley, and Satanism. So that's the team. And that's what they're trying to create in the Highlands, is a spiritual retreat for Satanists.
Well, I think there's a lot more to be asked around that. It's absolutely fascinating story. What's in my mind is that we're now starting to see attempts to ban Christianity from being taught in schools, but plenty of money, I would imagine, for grants to help the Satanists get a new temple erected. Where does that bring us time-wise, Mike?